All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented Chris Browning. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, well, let me introduce you, everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
How do you do? It's such a pleasure having you on our show. I am absolutely thrilled and enthralled with your visit.
All right, then we got
best behavior now.
How's
there
that?
you go. Then we got the man behind the boards doing all our videography. His name is Scotty J. Scotty J, what's up?
Yo, Mr. Browning, welcome to our most dysfunctional family.
Thank you, Scott.
Then we've got the lady behind the boards at the W4CY Studios, Danielle.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Danielle.
Now, don't ever be in her company. She's a quick twist. I mean, she'll bang you in a minute. She's such a horny broad. She can't wait for you to come on. She thinks you're hot and sexy.
And then we have a chat room filled with people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, chat room.
There you go. We got every country represented right now. So,
Cool.
All right.
Now, we just finished interviewing a certain magnificently gorgeous blonde actress who has worked with you.
No, she hasn't.
I thought she has. Or she will. She wants to.
I asked her who's her bucket list.
Oh,
of
yes,
somebody who she would like to work with.
And she wants to work with
she
you.
said, I want to work with Chris Browning, and she didn't know you were coming on next. She just said that.
Right. So I said, let me put in a couple of good words for you. Maybe he'll take you to dinner. And then Jimmy said he's married with 3 kids. And I said, so?
No, he's twice divorced with 3 kids.
Oh, okay. He's twice divorced with 3
So you're
kids.
single right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm calling her right back. She's gorgeous. She looks like Anita Ekberg, the most gorgeous blonde with big jugs, and the jugs are real.
Said she ate dinner with you at. She said she ate dinner with you at Shriekfest, and she was so excited to sit with you. It was very difficult for her to not fan out. And her name is Jessica Cameron.
Oh, I'm
and
fixing you up with she's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's a bright woman. She's a genius. Oh, I'm going to fix you up with Jessica. Now you're single. Oh, quick, get Jessica back. We could do a split screen.
No.
Cameron, yes.
They could fall in love on our show.
You have to look her up, and you can see her.
Now I know who she is. Yes.
And she's a genius of a girl. She's a brilliant woman.
Yes, the same night you met us, you probably met her. Yes.
The publicity night. Yeah, in fact, I helped her with some of her she had that ring light.
Yes, she had the ring light. Wasn't that cool?
Right.
I want to get one of those on Amazon for my phone. So everybody,
wait, I met you that night for the first time, and remember you said to me after meeting me you were thinking about going gay?
Yeah. It hasn't gone away. I can't shake it.
So first of all, everybody, we want to say congratulations to you. Your film Green Light won Best Film at
Yes,
Shriekfest.
it did.
So congratulations.
It did. Congrats, bud. You're pretty good. You're a pretty good actor. A few more lessons, you'll be perfect.
So real quick, you guys, Shriekfest Film Festival, Green Light is the name of the film. Stars obviously Chris Browning, Caroline Williams, Daniel Basutti, Chase Williamson. Those are the people I knew who I've met before. Writer director Grant Denman, who's a great director, and so congratulations. And from what we understood, because we talked a lot with the executive producers, the lovely married couple.
I love them. They're from Canada. What nice people. Pigeons, but nice people.
What's a pigeon?
Pigeons are nice people who put money in film. They're called pigeons or angels, depending.
Oh, okay.
A pigeon is like somebody that you can get their money.
Live one.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a live one.
A live one. Well, what'd you think of What's-Her-Face's outfit? Oh, my God, shameful. I was loving every minute of it.
Oh, he's talking about Caroline.
Caroline
Williams, like lace top.
Oh, her fishnet.
We were doing selfies, and I was posing with her. I put my camera up, and I took one, and she's like, "Wait a minute, don't forget the tits." I actually.
That's my Caroline.
Yeah.
I love Caroline.
These girls 63 years old and they still got it, and she's right.
Quiet.
Absolutely.
We're not supposed to say that.
Well, everybody knows.
Tells everybody.
She tells
she
everybody.
does. Well,
like
I'm
you.
79. I'm going to be 80 in May. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he is.
I tell everybody my age. I don't care. Caroline and I we have a handle on aging. Caroline's, so is my Lorene Landon. You know Lorene Landon?
No.
gorgeous blonde, magnificent beauty. And
So hang
she's
on,
up there.
Before we move forward, first of all, you guys, this is Chris Browning, and if you don't recognize his face, like I recognized him as soon as we walked into the place because he's got such great body of work. He's really a phenomenal working actor. But I'm gonna brag for you because if you do it, it doesn't sound as cool as if I do.
It sounds narcissistic. It sounds faggy and narcissistic.
So you guys,
don't
here's some of the people, and this is just some of them because when I was going down his IMDb to pick out movies and stuff and write down some of the famous people he's worked with, the list was so long that if you look at my page, I couldn't write anything else, and I only got like halfway down the list. So, but here's some of the fabulous people he's had an opportunity to work with. Gerard Butler, Titus Welliver, Mark Blucas, Will Smith, Joel Egerton, Numi Rapace. I don't know how you pronounce it anyway. Ike Barinholtz, Jay Hernandez, Evan Rachel Wood, Jeffrey Wright, Ed Harris, Tandy Newton, James Marsden, Anthony Hopkins, Denise Richards, John Voight, Stanley Tucci, Michael Biehn, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Forrest Whitaker, Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, Olivia Wilde, Abigail Spencer, Paul Dano, Chloe Grace Moretz, Richard Jenkins, Denzel Washington, Thomas Jane, Ron Perlman, Christian Bale, Sam Worthington, Helena Bonham Carter, Bryce Dallas Howard. Let's see up here in the front. John Bernthal, Benjamin Bratt, Jeffrey Donovan. I was in a bunch of episodes of Burn, whatever.
Nobody gets a shit, Jimmy. Go on.
That's why I put him on the list, though. Bruce Davison, John Hurd, which I loved, Heather Graham, Robert Patrick, and that's like half his list, you guys. The guy's like worked with every major star on the planet.
We know a lot of these people. They've been on our show.
Absolutely.
And we've met them at
So
red
congratulations on like, oh my God, like I've been in all these things. And the first question I have to bring up in discussion because you've been in so many major, like huge blockbuster, like billions of dollar films. And then you also do like these indie, like no budget, there's no money at all films. Like, how does that work for you? And like, do you like working on the little indie films? And I mean, obviously you're always like, you're the star of them. But like, how does that work for you? Because it's such a big difference between going from something where it cost $100 million and going to something where it cost $100,000.
It's called being
wait. Let him answer it.
I'm going to answer it with him. Don't fuck you. I'm going to hit you with this mic right on the head.
No.
It's called being a big fish in a little pond sometimes, or being a little fish in a big pond other times.
But he's actually a big fish in a big pond most of the time.
What he said. Exactly. I mean, people say, would you do small little independent films? And I'm like, yeah, if I can get one, I mean, they're all the same. It's for me, it's just about working. I did 2 short films last year that I did one this year. Did one last fall. I did one this spring. There's no money in those. And I just like the script and I like being on set and I like working and one was about Alzheimer's and I got to play a guy in his late 60s who had Alzheimer's. That was like, yeah, I want to do that because I've never done that, and the other one was about a father who'd lost his mind over losing a daughter, that he just has this other reality that he's choosing to live in to avoid that grief. And both things that I've never explored, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Those are exercise films. They're wonderful to do when you have characters like that, because you do broaden your horizons as an actor. You go places that you normally wouldn't. Every actor wants a challenge. I could play Alzheimer's very easily. I could just be myself. So it really wouldn't be any acting. It would be an Academy Award performance.
Yeah.
I love it. You gotta talk about it. Okay, so you did a movie Wild Card, and the only reason I'm bringing this film up, and I watched the film, but I don't remember who you are. Do you get killed in that? Did you get beat up by Jason Statham? I just want to talk because Jason Statham is his favorite action person.
I love Jason Statham.
Do you get beat up by Jason Statham in it? Because we're gonna watch it again if you do.
Wait a minute. Is Jason nice? Is he a good guy? A regular buddy?
The villain in it was the guy from what's his name? The guy from
This Is Us.
From This Is Us. Yeah, Villamelia
Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah, that guy.
A bitch of a name for show business.
Yeah, but he was the villain in the movie, and myself and an ex-football player who's an amazing actor too. He's a beast. He makes me look like a toddler. God, what is his name? If he watches this, he'll kick my ass. I got to find out. Well,
I'll look it up.
anyway, we were the
I'll look it up.
Well, wait,
you talk.
I asked a question about Jason.
Let him tell you about it.
we were the henchmen in it, and
I thought. Okay, that's what I thought.
we're the guys that answer the door when he comes to the hotel and wants to, get compensated for what happened to his girlfriend and she got beat up, right? And so they did a whole elaborate thing. Of course, we're it looks like we're going to take Jason Statham away and put him in a dumpster somewhere, but he proceeds to tear up everybody in the room. And I got beat up in a glorious way. I mean, that's my thing. My bio on social media says that guy who died in that movie you like, that's kind of who I am. And they did a thing that with that phantom camera that shoots like 700 frames a second. It's a super high.
Right. Which makes me crazy. I hate that camera.
Yeah. Well, they brought that camera in and did a close up of him. He headbutts me in the face, and they just exploded my face. It was all in slow motion, and then I get thrown through this shower door, and he snaps my knee backwards, and we spent a whole day just beating my ass up.
I have news for you. Jason could beat my ass up any day.
So wait, is the actor's name Matthew Willig?
Yeah, Matt Willig.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He looks like a big dude.
Is Jason a nice guy off camera?
Jason, yeah, real sweetheart, real nice guy.
He looks like a bud. Like he could be a buddy.
Love it. I just think it's fabulous. So one more real quick bragging thing. You guys, just to get an idea of some of the shows he's been on and movies he's been in. Angel Has Fallen, which we have seen recently. Bosch, Bright, Last Rampage, Shot Caller, Westworld. He's on Westworld, Agent Carter. He did an episode of Supergirl, an episode of Ray Donovan, which you get killed by John Voight in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know John for a long time.
Wild Card with Jason Statham, you guys. He's on a bunch of episodes of Sons of Anarchy. The Philly Kid, which I liked a lot. I know that's an indie film, but it was good. Cowboys and Aliens, which is a great one. Let Me In,
that movie.
The vampire movie with Chloe Grace Moretz, which is a remake of a foreign film, a fabulous movie.
Excellent movie.
The Book of Eli with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington kills you too, I bet, right?
Chloe Grace Moretz kills me too.
Yeah.
You're just a killer.
Killer
type.
Dark Country and Terminator Salvation, and you guys, and that's like 10 of like the 200.
You're in some really great films that I love a lot. John Voight, I know very well, and he was a very quiet guy, very intense. How did you find him? The same way?
I realized early on we're going to be shooting this. That was 2 days of shooting that scene around the pool. Right. I love being on big productions where, on a small movie, we would have shot that in an hour and moved on, but we shot for 2 days, and John was just such a humble guy. And I saw that he was going to let me just pump him for information the whole time I was there. I mean, I just was like, oh my God, I got John Voight sitting next to me for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking him about Deliverance and this and Jane Fonda and all these. It was great. But he has that thing that all good actors have, where they're really not sure if it's working. Like he would do a take, and then he'd ask me,
right? What do you think?
How was that? I'm like, ask your fucking Oscar, John.
Yeah. That's the insecure. I know John because his daughter, Angelina Jolie, who was Angie Voight, lived around the corner from we did. And my daughter Deirdre and Angie went to school and were best friends. So growing up, I met John many, many times. And I found him to be a very, very intense, quiet, introverted man who was a great actor.
Yeah.
Lousy father, but a great actor. So there you go.
Anyway, we don't want to say that.
Well, I'm not lousy. He was not a loving man to Angie. He liked my daughter Deirdre better because she was funny, and she would roll down the hill of Beverly Hills High and do crazy stuff. And Angie Voight was very quiet. I love Angie Voight, by the way. She's one of the nicest human beings in the world. You work with her, you're working with a pro and a sweetie pie.
So
she's got a heart of gold, that Angie. I love her.
So let's move to a different idea. Like, so with all these accomplishments, do you still have to audition, or do you get to just hire, or do you just get hired?
Oh, I audition.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, once in a while I get offers, but they're for like, you know, little movies or, you know, shorts or you know, like I got an offer for Green Light. Obviously, it was just because it was a tiny movie. I mean, that movie was like $50,000 or something. And it
You're
went.
kidding. To shoot that film was $50,000.
And you watch, it's going to win awards all over the place.
Yeah.
I
You know,
love
Betty
that.
Davis auditioned. She didn't like it. She told me. They had the nerve, she said, to ask me to audition. I'm Betty Davis. I said, yeah, well, did you audition? She said, hell no. She said they could watch all of my 146 films or something. But she didn't like to, but they asked it. One movie company asked Betty Davis to audition. She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it.
I love it. So what are your what are some of your like most memorable, or tell us a story of something that happened that maybe people don't know on one of your big projects that's fun and interesting and exciting?
I got a couple, but one would probably be for me, Book of Eli was a huge turning point for me because
career-wise.
Huh?
Career-wise.
As an actor. I mean, I had
character-wise.
Just in belief in my abilities. You know, I'd had big roles in tiny movies. I'd had, you know, smallish, medium-ish roles in big movies. Like I'd already been in 3:10 to Yuma, which I worked on that movie for 5 weeks and learned a lot from Christian Bale, who was a total sweetheart and very, very generous to me with things that he'd learned from other people like Michael Caine, but I can go into that story later. But
Michael's a wonderful person. I know Michael Caine.
I don't know Michael Caine. But
Michael Caine and his wife, they're delicious people. I knew them from years ago.
Everybody in the chat room is saying how much they love Book of Eli too. So tell us, why was Book of Eli the one that did it for you?
Well, because like in 3:10 to Yuma, I basically, you know, I'm just the out of focus deputy, you know, in the background, and I had one big scene where I burned alive and died in the stage. But that was just me in the stagecoach screaming my ass off, "Let me out of here!" But in Book of Eli, I was opposite Denzel.
Good actor.
In this big scene that shot for 2 or 3 days, and it's where me and my guys come up on him on the road and try to rob him, and it doesn't go.
I remember that.
And we just walk through a little rehearsal, and I'm hiding behind this sign with my guys, you know, and then he calls us out. He says that, you know, he can smell us a mile away or something, and so my first line, we walked through the scene, and I talked to the director. It was the Hughes brothers, and Alan Hughes is the one that's really talking to the actors, and Albert Hughes is the one who's really kind of trying to cut it together in his head. He stays in the video village, and he's kind of, you know, you're looking at the shots. And so I go up to Alan after the rehearsal, and I said, I feel like, because my first line is, "What you got there in that pack?" And I'm like, I'm way up here on the hill. I got to come down the hill, walk down the road. You know, it's all that time passes before I can even tell that he's got a pack on. I feel like I should be saying some shit at the top of the scene too. And he just gave me the green light. He's like, "Man, you feel like saying something, just say it." So
generous actor.
Director.
Generous director, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so I was just hiding behind that sign for 2 days going, "Ooh, I know what I'll do," you know, and I tried something new, and then I try something new, and the next do something else. And Albert Hughes is going crazy. He's talking to his brother, "How are we going to cut this together?" He's all over the map. This time he's singing and dancing, and he's using his walking stick like a cane and like a top hat and cane thing. And this one he's going completely crazy, and in this one he's using it like a gun. And Alan said, "Just let him go, man. Just let him go. It'll work." And so that's what happened. And then I had people like a friend of mine, Mike McCarty, who's a big special effects makeup guy. He goes, "Hey, did you hear Denzel?" And because Denzel didn't really talk to me because he's all in his character, and you know, he's probably not trying to see me because he's unable to see, whatever. So he would just go back to one after each take and just be over there. There was no how you doing, where you from, nothing like that for 3 days. But he would talk to me if it was like, hey, on this take, I'm not going to say that line, so don't wait for it. And I'd say, cool. But he goes, did you hear that? And I go, no, what? He said, Denzel was walking back to one after that last take, and he looked over his shoulder at the director and pointed at you, and he said, that guy's good.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
You didn't need much more. You know what movie that you were in that I really enjoyed was Aliens and Cowboys.
Cowboys and Aliens.
Cowboys and Aliens. I thought it would be a lemon and a bomb with the title. I mean, give me a break. Aliens and back in the Old West. But I really enjoyed it, and everybody in it was good. It was a good film. What have you got to tell us about the fun of that film? A lot of CGI in that film.
That film was just. I'd never been on a $200 million movie before. The money that they spent, we shot at Bonanza Creek outside of Santa Fe, which I'd done several other projects there. 310 to Yuma. That's where that was shot. But it's this big western town. It's got 2 crossroads, right? They lit the entire town, so like they didn't have to change. They have to wait to move lights. It was just
camera setups. Light setups.
The whole town was surrounded by cranes with lights. So it was always lit. And they had these cables running down this street and then down this street that were suspended like 20 feet in the air between cranes. And they had these high-speed motor vehicles on them that were they just go 60 miles an hour down the cable. And they had lights coming out of them and stuff, and they would just paint the spaceships on later. And they had it all set up so when that laser hits that wagon, it explodes, and when it hits that house, it burns down. It was unbelievable. And
I would have loved to be on that set.
And we're supposed to be getting attacked by aliens, and the horses are freaking out. And of course, the horses really were freaking out because there's these things going down the middle of the road on them. So the horses didn't have to act at all. But basically, that was 6 weeks of going to work, and they're saying, here's your horse, here's your gun, there's your boss, Harrison Ford, go to work. And so, I'd still like to be on that show today, and that was 10 years ago.
I love it.
Great movie. I totally enjoy it. And whenever it's on TV, I watch it just because of the effects were so good. And it was a very clever idea. It was different for a Western.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you were good. Everybody was good in the movie. So many movies are very good films, but the actors are not so great. Every now and then you get a good story with great actors, and that was one of them. Like last night, we saw a Judy with Renee. She's outstanding. I'm voting for her, by the way, for Best Actress of the Year. Her performance is nonstop in every scene, imitating Judy Garland as best as she could. Exhausting work. I know what she had to go through. God knows how many takes they had to do on her scenes. For that alone, she should win the Oscar because it was go see Judy. I'm not a fan of Judy Garland's, but I loved the movie, and I loved her in it.
So wait a second. Do you go because you're in a lot of action films? When you're like sitting around watching films, do you watch all kinds of films, or are you because you're an action star kind of person?
No, I'm not a big action guy. I haven't seen Angel Has Fallen yet, and I'm in it.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I did 3 films. I haven't seen myself in it yet either. So, I shot one way back in September. And something's coming out now, Halloween. I think one of my movies.
You saw Angel Has Fallen.
Yeah, I love that movie.
We love all those movies.
Well,
I love that. And I like the fact that you got thrown to the shower. I hated you. Now, which one was that? Where they break into the hotel room and Jason beats the shit out of him?
That's different.
What movie was that?
That's Wild Card.
That's Wild Card.
Oh, I like that movie. I love when Jason knocks everybody around. It's my fan.
He has a thing for Jason.
No, it's my fan. I'm from Brooklyn. We like to knock people around. So, it's my fantasy to be young and able to kick the shit out of 10 men in a room.
So have you done any films where you're like just like a romantic lead, like Hallmark kind of movie? Or not yet?
No, I mean, the the tamest character that I probably play is I play Eliza Taylor's father on the 100.
Okay, yeah, that's a TV show. Yes, I didn't actually see that show.
Yeah, but I could make a prediction, and here's my prediction. After I get through with Jessica, she's going to, because she casts everybody, she's a big casting agent. She's going to cast you in a movie with her playing her romantic lead. I guarantee it. You're going to have to kiss and make out with her for hours. Poor man, you poor little thing. You know who Anita Ekberg is, the movie star from years ago, Anita Ekberg?
Yeah.
That's who Jessica looks like, and she's built like her. Jessica's boobs are real, and they are huge. I mean, she's one sexy, gorgeous blonde. Oh, if you had lunch with her, you know who she is.
I had lunch with her. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, they're huge. Okay, so
no, she's definitely going to cast you as her romantic lead. Probably a nude scene.
Tell me.
What?
I will.
I will. Now that you're single, we didn't know. Jimmy's blew it.
Well, I said you were married.
No, I said to Jessica, he's coming on in 4 minutes. I'm going to fix you up with him. So she said, oh, please do. I think he's sexy and gorgeous. And then Jimmy said, no, he's married. He's got 3 kids.
Well, I look on your Instagram and you have all those kids pictures.
I said, so what? I have a lot of married friends with 3 kids and they play.
I love all the stuff you post about your kids on Instagram and stuff. Like you seem like a really fabulous father.
It's my best thing.
Yeah, kids are the only reason, boy. I got 2 daughters, and they're my reasons to live.
So, okay, first of all, you guys, if you want to follow Chris on Instagram and Twitter, he's Hijack Leader. It's HIJACKLEADER. And, how do we get that as a Twitter handle?
It's the same.
No, but I know, but why? I mean, you're Chris Browning. Why are you Hijack Leader?
That's where that story was coming from. That was my character name on Book of Eli.
Oh,
that was a good movie.
So ever since that day, it was like, wow, you've done stuff in small movies that you're proud of, but you've been in big movies, but not really opposite powerhouse actors. And you spent 2 days holding your own with Denzel Washington. You can do anything.
Let me tell you something.
So he's Hijack Leader. That's hilarious.
Let me tell you, I was 19. My first movie, Tab Hunter, Sophia Loren. Hello? You want to get bigger than that? Back in 1959, they were super duper stars. And I found them to be as lovely as anybody else. So I'm not afraid of celebrity or big stars at all. They're just people. They're just people who act. We go to a cold factory, which stinks, and we have to work 90,000 hours with sometimes unscrupulous directors. But would you say that? What's your best work? Let's go there. Your very best work when
that you think is your best.
That when you say to yourself, gee, you did a fucking great job.
Wow. Oh, I like what I did in Last Rampage.
What'd you do? I'm not familiar with that one.
It was a true crime story I did with Robert Patrick and Heather Graham, and I was a serial killer on the run.
Oh, good.
It was a true story. These guys escaped prison in 1970.
Oh, I have to. What's the name of the film?
It's called The Last Rampage. The Escape of Gary Tison.
How can we? Let's look at it tomorrow night. I want to watch it tomorrow night. Where we get it?
I never understood why they called it that. Why is it called The Last Rampage, Escape of Gary Tison, when Gary Tison and whatever, Paul Greenblatt or whatever my name was, we both escaped. And I was a convicted serial killer. He was like a check forger who killed a guard and got life doing that.
Well, they named the movie after him and not you.
Well, I would love to play a serial killer in a nursing home.
Yeah. You guys, first of all, if you want to see the movie The Last Rampage, The Escape of Gary Tison, it stars along with Chris Browning, Robert Patrick, Bruce Davison. I love Bruce Davison, Heather Graham, and John Hurd. That must have been one of his last movies, too, because he passed away.
Yeah, he was a brilliant actor. Brilliant actor.
It was on Netflix. Now it's on Amazon.
So how could we get that?
Amazon.
It's free.
Thursday night, I don't give it. I'll pay for it. Thursday night, we're watching it because I want to see you, number one. But I love serial killer movies. I love them.
Okay, so who's on your bucket list? Because we've got 4 minutes left. You've already worked with.
Oh wait, I
like-
want to say one thing, then you can
Okay.
have it.
Oh, shit.
Please, when you marry Jessica, invite me to the wedding. Now go, Jim.
Okay, so like your bucket list, you've already got. I mean, because the list of people that you've worked with, if you could work with anybody living or dead, who's like the male and female on your bucket list of, oh my gosh, I'd love to be that. And then while you're thinking about that, another quick answer is, if you could have been in any movie ever made in history, what movie would you have liked to been in and why?
Butch and Sundance.
Oh wow!
What movie?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Really? That film was.
And who would you want to be, Butch Cassidy or the Sundance Kid?
Sundance. I don't know.
I don't know that film is so fabulous, or that character was. I'd like to see you in something far greater than that.
That's his bucket.
No,
list,
I
not
know that.
yours.
Oh, I'm disagreeing with them. I think that was a minimal role.
I'm
mean, it
saying,
was-
you're making it sound like which one would you have liked to been? That would have been a nonstop thrill ride. Playing cowboy with Paul Newman for 6 months.
Absolutely. All right, and then who's on your bucket list?
Challenge goes. I mean, it was I would have, if I could have played R.P. McMurphy in Cuckoo's Nest.
I'd like to see you as James Bond, something like that.
You could do James
He'd be a great James Bond. Are you kidding?
We'll do that.
Huh? What, you wouldn't play? You wouldn't?
Absolutely. No, he says we'll do that.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah. That's what I would like to see.
Who's
him
the
as
male
James
and
Bond.
female? Who's the male and female actress and actor that you haven't had a chance yet to work with, that you would like to work with if you had an opportunity?
Living or dead, huh?
Yeah, it could be anybody. I mean, you should pick somebody living though, because if you pick somebody living, there's a chance it'll happen.
And Jessica picked Marilyn Monroe.
Is definitely Clint Eastwood.
Okay, Clint Eastwood.
He retired. You can't have him.
That's
He
okay.
retired for a year.
Yeah, he'll be back.
No, he won't. He's not feeling too hot.
Okay, go ahead, and a female.
Well, that was the thing that broke me up about Paul Newman. I really wanted to work with Paul Newman. It's like I gotta get there because they're all dying off.
Yes.
I never met Paul, but I know Joanne.
I'd like to work with Robert Redford.
Yeah, Robert Redford. Would be a good
Joanne
one.
Woodward is absolutely the most together woman I have ever met in my life. She's totally together. There's no loose strings with her. So I'm sure that Paul was the same way in private world, because in order to live with Joanne, you have to be straight-laced and very proper, because Joanne Woodward is that way.
Natasha Henstridge.
Oh, I love her.
Who?
Actually, we're going to have her come on the show, I think. I tweet with her. Natasha Henstridge.
Do I know
You know
her?
her, yeah, because she's in Species, and you saw Species. She plays the Species.
Did I think she was a good actress?
Yeah, and she's gorgeous, too.
Oh, good.
She's a friend. We did a movie last year called The Unhealer down in Arizona. It hasn't come out yet. And we met on that and became instant friends. And it was cool because I got to tell her that, back when the Species days, when all of, the other college guys and shit, whatever, or wherever, you're having that drunken beer argument about who the hottest chick is, and everyone's talking about Kim Basinger and whatever. Mine was always Natasha Henstridge, and here, in fact,
You got to actually make a movie with her.
this is her house. I'm in right now.
Oh, is it really?
So you
Is she there? Tell her hi.
Are you dating her? Are you dating her?
This is no.
So what are you doing in her house? Are you burglaring it? Are you robbing it?
Down, so I'm just keeping an eye on things I'm down here for.
Oh, I love it. All right, hold on, because we're out of time. Everybody, this is Chris Browning. In January, his film Greenlight's going to come out. You've heard all the films we've talked about. He's in. Go see all of them.
One hell of an actor, folks.
Follow him on Instagram and Twitter at Hijack Leader, HIJACKLEADER, from the Book of Eli. We want to thank you for coming on. I'm going to email you because we got an event coming up maybe you might like to come to, and we want to thank you for coming on the show. And when you have anything to promote, we'll bring you back. We'll bring you on as the earlier guest so we have more time.
And I hope you have the good
whatever it is, I want to go.
Awesome.
Hang on. I hope you have the good fortune to work with Angelina Jolie one day. I would love to see the two of you on screen.
I would love it.
I love it too. All right,
Never
Chris.
know, it may
thank you
happen.
so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Take
Have a
care,
great
Chris.
time and good luck and congratulations. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
See you on the next red carpet, babe. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yay!
Now we're going to fix you up with Jessica, for real. I'm not kidding.